Hi, my name is Teresa Steinkamp. I'm the Director of Advising at the Scholarship Foundation of St. Louis, and I'm thrilled to be sharing some information with you about scholarships and paying for college. I want to start by defining something called a financial aid package. A financial aid package is an offer from a specific college that outlines the various kinds of financial aid that you may be receiving from various sources. This would include federal, state, and institutional aid from the college itself, and it's intended to help you fill the difference or the gap between your ability to pay, which is the expected family contribution calculated by the FAFSA, and the college costs, oftentimes referred to as COA or cost of attendance. So a financial aid package is based on your financial need, and it's the difference between COA and EFC. You likely have already taken some of these steps to apply for financial aid. One of the key steps that we encourage students to take is to file the FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid. If you have not yet filed a FAFSA for the 2022-23 school year, don't worry, there is still time to do so. It would be important to file as soon as possible to maximize your financial aid consideration and to ensure that you have enough time to get everything completed before the start of the fall semester. You may also apply for opportunities from the college or colleges that you have applied to for admissions and are considering to enroll in for the coming school year. Many colleges award scholarships through admissions deadlines, and other colleges have a separate scholarship application. It is important to know these deadlines and recognize that deadlines may have already passed or will be coming up in the near future. So check with the prospective college or colleges that you are considering to take advantage of anything else that remains. Next, I want to highlight the importance of local opportunities. Local opportunities are things that may be available to you because of your high school or your school district, the community in which you live, including the larger St. Louis community and the state of Missouri. And we'll talk more about some opportunities that are in that larger community in just a little bit. But local opportunities are great to consider because there is usually a smaller applicant pool, and so a greater opportunity to receive those awards. Be sure to check with your school or college counselor to be sure that you are applying for everything locally that you might be eligible to receive. And then you might consider national opportunities. There's nothing wrong with national scholarship opportunities. However, there are lots of other students all across the country applying for these scholarships as well, and it becomes a little bit more difficult to receive those opportunities because of volume. So we recommend that you start with your prospective college and look locally before moving on to national opportunities. So it's important to think about when to start your scholarship search. First, you should check with the college or colleges that you've applied to or plan to apply to for admissions to understand their financial aid deadlines. If there are things that you have not yet done to apply for financial aid and financial aid deadlines have not yet passed, it would be important to make note of those deadlines and make sure that you submit all required documents by any deadlines that are coming up in the near future. Next, I would encourage you to look for scholarship applications locally, and I cannot encourage enough that you check out myscholarshipcentral.org. Myscholarshipcentral.org is currently accepting applications for a variety of different scholarships, most of which will have deadlines between now and April 15th. Although a lot are due April 15th, there are many others that have deadlines prior to then. I would encourage you to get on at your earliest convenience and identify which scholarships you may be eligible for and to submit those applications as soon as possible. Which brings me to my final point, which is to do your research and map out a timeline for the opportunities that you plan to apply for. Having a timeline for these opportunities will be helpful so that you are not super crunched getting everything together at the last moment. As you are applying for outside scholarships, it's important to consider a few additional things. The first is, with very few exceptions, there should not be a cost to search or apply for scholarships. If something is charging you a fee, even if it's fairly small, I would recommend that you take a step back and do some additional research before investing your resources into an opportunity that may not pay off the way that you expect. The second is renewable. Some scholarships are one-time only, and other scholarships are renewable, meaning you can receive them each year that you are in college, up to a certain number of semesters or number of years. And it's really important to prioritize scholarships that are renewable, as many students are in college for more than 1 year. So understanding if a scholarship is renewable, how does the renewal process work, and under what circumstances is a student eligible for renewal. Many scholarships are geared towards students in their senior year of high school, and so scholarships that are not renewable can be difficult to replace once you are already in college. This does not mean that you can't or shouldn't apply for those one-time only scholarships, but we would encourage you to prioritize things that are renewable, given that you will likely need them for future years as well. The third consideration is whether or not a scholarship is portable, and that essentially means, will the scholarship from an outside organization transfer with you from one school to the next in the event that you transfer at some point in your educational journey. As a significant number of students do transfer during their college years, this is an important piece to be aware of. Not all scholarships transfer, and some that do transfer only under certain circumstances. And so I would encourage you to understand proactively whether or not your scholarship dollars may transfer with you. The final consideration is the impact on institutional aid. By and large, colleges are required to have a policy on reviewing outside scholarship information to adjust, if necessary, institutional or other financial aid that has already been offered to the student. So all colleges have a policy, and it's important for you as a student to know what that policy is. So you might contact the financial aid office at your prospective college or colleges and ask them how outside scholarships will be treated and what adjustments may be made to an existing financial aid offer if you already have one. It's important because if at some point you are just swapping one scholarship dollar for another, that can be very frustrating. And so understanding that in advance is helpful for students. I have some truths about scholarships that I want to share with you. So the first is it is important for you as the student to be proactive in searching and applying for scholarships. The second is that many scholarships are competitive, and so what you put into the application will hopefully help yield the benefits of that opportunity. Put your best foot forward when submitting those applications, complete all questions and complete them thoroughly to increase the opportunity that you might earn those awards. Apply for multiple scholarships. The more that you apply for, the greater odds that you give yourself that at least one or two will be awarded to you. And then ask questions. If something doesn't make sense or doesn't apply to you and it's required, please don't be shy about reaching out for additional information. Even though the Scholarship Foundation may not oversee everything you award, I'd be happy to be a resource as you navigate this process. I want to share a little bit of information about the Scholarship Foundation of St. Louis's interest-free loan and grant programs. Students must meet 3 basic eligibility criteria. Students must demonstrate financial need. They must show academic potential. That means that in order to be eligible, students must have a 2.0 cumulative grade point average or higher, and students must also have strong character. Students need to plan to attend an accredited and nonprofit institution. All funding of the Scholarship Foundation is renewable, provided students continue to meet eligibility criteria. Students do have to be permanent residents of an eligible service area, and the programs that we're going to talk about in a moment are open to Jefferson County residents. And the application deadline is April 15th, 2022. Students must submit all materials by 11:59 p.m. on that date through Scholarship Central to have a complete application. I'd like to provide some information about some specific scholarships that the Scholarship Foundation awards. The first is the Ava's Grace Scholarship, which is a $5,000 scholarship and is available to students who have experienced in the past or present a parent who has been incarcerated. The Deaconess Foundation Nursing Scholarship is available to students who are pursuing a degree in nursing. The New Era Scholarship is a scholarship opportunity open to students who are active participants in a number of programs locally. Those programs are Big Brothers Big Sisters of Eastern Missouri, College Bound St. Louis, KIPP St. Louis Internship Program, and the Wyman Teen Leaders Program. And then the Scholarship Foundation does have an interest-free loan program. The interest-free loans are available to students for up to $11,000 per year and are intended to help students avoid borrowing any interest-bearing federal or private loans. I want to highlight for those of you who are residents of Jefferson County that in part due to generous support from the Jefferson Foundation in Jefferson County, the Scholarship Foundation also has a number of grants open to Jefferson County residents. To be considered for those grants, students must also apply for the interest-free loan from the Scholarship Foundation, and by applying for the interest-free loan, they would automatically be considered for those grant funds as well. If you have questions or need help with anything that we have discussed in this video, or there are other things that you need assistance with, please do not hesitate to contact me. Again, my name is Teresa Steinkamp. I'm the Director of Advising, and you can email me at the email address on the screen, and you can also schedule an appointment with me if you follow the link tree that is reflected on your screen as well. Thank you so much for listening. Please contact us if you have additional questions. Thank you.